Let's get into some other reference because this one was really pretty easy to do. Let's have a look at some other looks which are Volvo doing, for example. They're just like all simple, but it looks so good, and you just need to practice to see what lights they're using. Like here I can see it creates the softbox light above the car, some light here, here. So basically it's really easy, and we can implement something like that. But as we have the Polestar, let's jump into this one. Right now let's create another environment which will be as simple as that. Just move it like here, and we'll create in the different place. Let's move it here. So what we have with our car, let's actually duplicate our car, our rig, turn it on the side, so like that. Stands here. You can do the same even with the static meshes, but with the rig you can make the animations like the car, driving into the scene or something like that. It's really a nice thing to have. This one we don't need HDRI, but we need our sky atmosphere. And again, just simply put all of those shapes like that. Let's get into the reference. It's like 1, 2, and 3, which is blocking the view. Like this. Let's go to our second car. Let's change the color probably again for this Polestar number 2 to white. You can actually create child blueprint actor for this particular reason. If you have multiple cars and you want multiple cars to be different color, you can do that. So let's disable steering to 0, move the car. I think this one is using like really huge focal length, something like maybe 50 focal length, maybe 55, even 70 is good, right? So like this. Let's also add skylight back, because we are not using HDRI for this particular reason. Pick the focus, and let's build few more structures there. So we have the floor, we have this wall which should be like really closer to us, so like that, so it will be blurred really much. Let's rotate it to -90. It needs to be flat. This one too. Okay, this is getting better. This one, this one. Okay. Another one should be behind this one, and this one should be super tall, so it will cover this part. We'll adjust the sun. Okay, we would need to adjust also after that some of our exposure settings. It's going from there. This one is white. There's the shadow. It's actually a really interesting construction which they made. We can even play around like this, making some different shapes. Okay. How much of the car we can see? Tilt this. Center the car. And let's move this one a little bit. Viewport number 2. Semi camera actor. Let's move like this. Okay, good. This one is nice. Let's play around with the sun position. I think something like that. Maybe even the shadow is soft. Okay, this works well. And now we need to get this shadow. This shadow you will probably won't be able to get with the sun position or something like that. You would need to, you know, be creative in that case and try to recreate this shadow by placing some objects which will be obstructing this sort of environment, because it also needs to block the skylight a little bit. So probably that should be massive like this. So it will cover and will create some shade like this. It's even lower here. So it should be really, really big. Like that, and also it creates the shadow on the back. Ah, no, on the back it's bright actually. Nice. And our car is there. To keep it like this, making this nice gradient. I don't see this shape. It's basically the shadow here. This shape is not necessary, to be honest, but let's actually, what I don't like about this shape that it casts shadow, and I don't want this shadow, so I'll disable cast shadow because I don't like how unclean it makes this part. And all of this here is like concrete. So let's now texture that one with the proper concrete. Let's have a look again through the camera. And in the camera, I'll probably go with the highlight contrast scale and decrease the highlights a little bit, so we'll match the color, like the tone, because it's, you know, it's not so much contrasty, it's just like really, really calm, I would say. Let's see, let's get back a little bit like this, and let's make some really dirty concrete on the floor. Let's fix our focus here like that, so it will be focused on our car. Okay, good. And what we have in our mega scans: surfaces, concrete floor. Oh, there's some textures which are based with this, with what we imported before. Let's go for dirty concrete floor. Does it look actually, nah, too dirty? Worn concrete pavement. That's better actually. I think that we can use this one, I think, but let's with what we have more. Oh yeah, I think this one is the best. Like, okay, let's download this one and apply this one to our floor. Yeah, see, like here also an example, like you're looking from some second floor or ceiling or something like that. So that really works well with this depth of field which you are introducing the scene. Actually, Polestar is doing really good stuff, making some volume and perspective in the environment, because you always have the guiding lines which are guiding you to the object of the focus, and which are actually playing really nice with the contrast. So yeah, that's only what you can do while just trying out and figuring out what you can play around and do with this one. So just get the experience and you'll be able to do that. Okay, add our new material, which is concrete floor. Yeah, concrete pavement. So let's apply that one. As you can see, again, it's super huge, not looking good. So we can just add here and do the tiling like 25 by 20, 24 by 24. It's too much, I think. Yeah, looks good. But remember, if you are doing that with multiple meshes, you need the size of the meshes the same, so you can actually do the tiling like that. If you have different mesh which you would like to apply the same material but with a different tiling, just duplicate that by clicking Ctrl D, and let's change the tiling in this one, for example, 15 by 15. Now we have two types of the materials, and this material we can apply and see it's getting bigger a little bit. So go to the camera. What is this? Brush wall plaster. Yep. See the tiling, how it works there. You can see the repetition. Okay, let's go back to our actor. I don't see here much of this concrete. We are looking through our camera. Just like the color, just very pale. It's also white. Let's again reset the focus. Probably this huge aperture that doesn't work really good with these settings. Like, let's put it something like 2. Exposure compensation to 8 or 8.5. Okay, and focus on our car. And the next thing, yeah, don't worry about this one, it just like happens. And let's change our material instance albedo color, so we can change the albedo tint and make it a little bit darker like this. And probably for more details we can increase the normal strength, so it will be just popping up a little bit more, as you can see, right? So it's like this dry concrete. With the directional light we can change a little bit the source angle and soft angle like that, so it will blur our shadows and will not make them so strict. Let's see. Like that. And again, you can set up shadow contrast scale to increase the details in the shadows, just like that. Highlight contrast scale, just a little bit bigger. Oop, moving too fast. And like this. Obviously you would need to spend a little bit more time playing around with the settings, but this is the basic concept of how to make it like this. Oh, this one here. Yeah. Yeah, again I enabled the skylight HDRI. We don't need the HDRI. And the sky atmosphere probably too. Skylight is good. Okay. And as I change this value in the atmosphere, we can decrease those values and give a little bit less of the bleed. Or in the skylight, again, sky color can be different. You can change it at your own will and just basically disable this color to set it up just a little bit less than blue, so you will don't have any color bleed, and basically make the door tone palette, right? So let's see the path tracing. What I would like to say that obviously in path tracing you'll get more detailed, more realistic picture because of how the renderer looks, but I think it's not much of a difference compared to path tracer or lit currently. It looks really close and really nice. In path tracer we just get a little bit more of the details. Otherwise it is still really nice picture with really, yeah, here we go, with these blurry edges like that. So yeah, you can definitely play around, just see what works best for you. Even if we don't have any like of those already in Lumen, it looks really, really nice. Let's get some details shots like this. Focus here, do some steering. If you add on top some Photoshop or color grading, that would be really nice looking, especially with this, yes, like that. And also one small trick, never go like fully in focus for your car. So if you go in focus, right, it's very sharp, but just give it tiny bit out of focus range. So when you hit it, just like make it a little bit out of focus, when it gives this really, really natural feeling, because the lenses, they are never like super sharp. You need to defocus a little bit. For these simple and minimalistic environments, this is it. Just play around, look for what looks best. Those are the basic concepts. Never be ashamed of stealing the shots. Just like look for those sorts of references and try to recreate them like really shot by shot like this, so you don't have to, you know, use your imagination at first. You just need to get familiar with the tools, learn from those shots, create something similar, and after that you'll be able to create your own cameras, your own settings and the environments. If you have some experience in modeling in Blender, you can easily model your environment. I just don't use Blender. I don't know very much about it, so I prefer to create like simple blocking by myself and give it either to 3D artists, because this is never work of one person, or use HDRIs and use this simple geometry which Unreal Engine provides to create something like that, what I just showed you. This is not requiring a lot of your technical skills. I showed you all the settings. All you need right now is just to get the experience, get the cameras, get the lighting, just play around, try around, and you will get absolutely phenomenal results, even like without any special modeling tools or modeling the environments in Blender or any other 3D software.